Folks, attraction is triggered in seconds, and your body is speaking louder than your mouth. Let's be real. Most men try to win her with words, jokes, compliments, and non-stop effort, and then wonder why she still feels nothing. You walk into a room, and you can sense she notices you, but it never turns into that pull. Or you get a first date, and it stays polite, safe, forgettable. My friend, I'm not here to comfort you. I'm here to wake you up. Women don't melt for lines. They respond to silent signals they can feel in their nervous system. The good news is, this is learnable for you starting today. It's not about money, looks, or acting like a loud alpha. It's about small gestures that broadcast calm control, the kind that creates sexual tension without you chasing it. In this video, I'm going to break down the subtle moves, eye contact, stillness, posture, and timing that make her lean in before you even touch the conversation. Some of these are so simple you'll think that can't be it. But once you use them, you'll notice the shift instantly. Stick with me to the end, because the last gesture flips the room instantly, and you will see her body respond before she speaks. Subscribe now, because we train stoic presence here, not fake confidence. Let's get into it. Number 1. Stillness that makes her notice you. Folks, let's be real. Stillness is one of the most misunderstood signals in attraction. Most men think attraction comes from movement, talking more, gesturing more, filling every silence. In reality, stillness is what cuts through the noise. When everything around her is moving and reacting, the man who is calm and unmoving becomes impossible to ignore. Here's why this works. Stillness signals control. Not control over her, but control over yourself. And self-control is one of the strongest masculine signals there is. A man who can sit comfortably without fidgeting, without scanning the room for approval, without performing, tells her nervous system one thing. This man is grounded. This man is not trying. And that is exactly what makes her notice. Let's talk about a real situation. Mark is 52 and lives in Scottsdale. He meets Susan, 47, at a small wine-tasting event. Most men there are leaning in too fast, laughing too loud, constantly moving, their hands shifting their bodies. Mark does the opposite. He stands still. His movements are slow and intentional. When he listens, he actually listens. When he speaks, he doesn't rush. Susan notices him within minutes. Not because he said anything clever, but because he felt different. My friend, this is not about being stiff or robotic. Stillness is relaxed presence. It's being comfortable enough in your own skin that you don't need motion to prove value. Women are highly sensitive to this. Stillness communicates confidence at a subconscious level. Another example. David, 58, from San Diego, goes on a casual coffee date with Lisa, 50. David doesn't lean forward constantly. He doesn't nod excessively. He doesn't interrupt. He sits back, shoulders relaxed, breath slow. When Lisa finishes speaking, David pauses before responding. That pause creates space. Lisa later tells him she felt unusually seen and slightly nervous around him in a good way. That nervousness is attraction waking up. Here's the psychology. Stillness creates contrast. When you move less, every movement you do make becomes more noticeable. When you speak less, your words carry more weight. When you react less, her mind fills the gap. And the mind filling gaps is desire forming. Most men sabotage this because they are uncomfortable with silence. They think silence means boredom. In truth, silence held calmly creates tension, and sexual tension is built in quiet moments, not loud ones. Let's bring Stoicism into this naturally. Marcus Aurelius talked about being like a rock that waves keep crashing against while it stands firm. Stillness is that rock. You are not passive, you are anchored, and anchoring energy draws attention without effort. Think about John, 45, from Austin, meeting Rachel, 39, at a rooftop bar. When Rachel tests him with a teasing comment, John doesn't rush to respond. He smiles slightly, holds eye contact, then replies calmly. Rachel feels it immediately. His stillness unsettles her just enough to make her curious. She leans in more. He doesn't chase. He lets her come. That's the rule. Stillness invites pursuit. Movement invites evaluation. If you want to practice this, start small. Slow your movements. Let silences exist. Stop filling space just to feel safe. The more comfortable you are with stillness, the more noticeable you become. If this resonates, drop a comment and write, "I stay grounded." Stick with me, because this is just the beginning. Stay with me because the next gesture reveals how eye contact creates instant sexual tension, and you don't want to miss this. Number 2. The eye contact that creates instant tension. Folks, let's be real. Eye contact is not about staring, it's about intention. Most men either avoid it completely or overdo it until it feels invasive. Both kill tension. The kind of eye contact that creates desire sits right in the middle, calm, deliberate, and unhurried. Here's the truth most men miss. Eye contact is read emotionally before it's read visually. Her nervous system decides how it feels long before her mind labels it. When your gaze is steady without demand, it signals comfort with intensity. And comfort with intensity is rare. Let's clarify what works. You hold eye contact when she's speaking, then you break it naturally. When you speak, you reconnect briefly, then release again. This creates rhythm, not dominance, not submission, balance. That balance is what creates tension. What never works is chasing her eyes, rapid glances, nervous checking, or locking on without blinking. That communicates insecurity or aggression. Neither is attractive. Eye contact should feel like an invitation, not a challenge. Stoicism explains this perfectly. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." Applied here, it means you don't use eye contact to perform or prove confidence. You let it exist naturally. When you're not trying to look confident, you actually are. There's also a biological layer. The eyes signal safety and threat at the same time. A calm gaze says, "I'm present and I'm not dangerous." That combination lowers defenses while keeping awareness high. That's where desire wakes up. Marcus Aurelius wrote that a man should stand firm like a cliff against which the waves continually break. Your gaze should feel like that cliff. Unmoved, relaxed, grounded. When her emotions fluctuate, your eyes don't chase them. That steadiness creates polarity. Here's where most men sabotage themselves. They use eye contact to seek validation. They look to see if she's impressed, if she's reacting, if she's leaning in. The moment you check for reaction, tension leaks. Eye contact loses power when it asks for approval. Instead, you hold eye contact as if nothing needs to happen next. No rush, no outcome, just presence. That absence of urgency gives her room to feel without pressure. There's a simple rule to remember. Less is more. Fewer seconds of calm eye contact are more powerful than long stretches filled with expectation. Break first sometimes. Let her reconnect. When she does, you've already created pull. Seneca warned that impatience turns clarity into chaos. Rushing eye contact does the same. When you slow down internally, your gaze slows too. That slowness reads as confidence because it signals control over impulse. This isn't about technique, it's about state. When you're settled, your eyes soften naturally. When you're anxious, they dart or freeze. Fix the state, and the signal fixes itself. If you practice nothing else, practice this. When you make eye contact, breathe once before speaking. That single breath changes the quality of your gaze. It removes need and adds weight. If this lands, drop a comment and write, "I hold the gaze." Stick with me because this is just the beginning. Stay with me because the next gesture shows how a subtle smile can communicate confidence without a single word. You don't want to miss it. Number 3. The half smile that signals confidence. Folks, here's the straight truth. The half smile is a quiet power signal, not the big friendly grin that screams, "Please like me," not the blank face that feels cold. A half smile is controlled warmth. It tells her you are comfortable with tension and you do not need her approval to stay relaxed. It feels effortless. Most men smile too much because they are nervous. They laugh a little too hard. They nod a little too fast. They try to keep the mood safe because they think safety creates attraction. But comfort without edge becomes forgettable. The half smile keeps the edge. It says, "I'm amused, I'm interested, and I'm not chasing." Picture this. Brian is 50, a project manager in Tampa, and he meets Erica, 44, at a friend's backyard cookout. Erica is used to men reacting like she is the prize to win. She tosses out a playful tease, expecting Brian to over-explain or over-compliment. Instead, Brian pauses, breathes once, and gives a small half-smile. He holds eye contact for a beat, then answers with one calm sentence. Erica laughs, but she also goes quieter for a second. Her brain is trying to read him. That moment creates tension instantly without effort. Here's why it works. Women pick up micro-signals. A half-smile communicates emotional discipline. It shows you can enjoy the moment without losing control of yourself. That discipline feels masculine because it signals self-command. It also feels safe because it is not aggressive. It is calm confidence. Now don't fake it. If you force a smirk, it looks arrogant. If you do it constantly, it looks rehearsed. The half-smile should appear when you are genuinely amused or intrigued. Then it should fade. That rise and fade creates rhythm. Rhythm keeps her attention. To be honest, this is Stoicism in motion. Marcus Aurelius talked about staying steady and not being dragged around by impulses. The half-smile is a visible sign of that steadiness. You are not suppressing emotion. You are choosing how much of it to show. That choice is what creates control. Another example. Mark is 57 inches, Denver, recently divorced, and he is on a first date with Claire, 49. Claire shares a story that is slightly vulnerable, then watches Mark for reassurance. Most men rush to validate. Mark listens, then gives a small half-smile that says, "I respect what you just said." He does not flood her with praise. He lets the moment breathe. Claire feels seen, but she also feels the space. That space makes her lean in because she wants more. Practice it in moments. At work, with friends, even with strangers. Let your face relax. Let your eyes do less. Let your calm do more. Women notice what you control more than your words. Your job is simple. Stop using your face to manage her emotions. Use your presence to hold the moment. When she says something bold, don't reward it with a performance. When she tests, you don't defend yourself. Let the half-smile do the work. It signals confidence and it invites her to move closer, to get more of you. If this hits home, drop a comment and write, "I stay in control." Stick with me because this is just the beginning. Next, we'll talk about the head tilt that makes her feel heard and pulled in at the same time. Number 4. How you tilt your head changes everything. Folks, this sounds almost too small to matter, but don't underestimate it. The way you tilt your head while listening sends a powerful signal to her nervous system. Long before she processes your words, her body reads your posture. A slight, relaxed head tilt can make her feel seen, safe, and intrigued all at once. Or if done wrong, it can make you look tense, needy, or unsure. Let's be real. Most men either keep their head rigid like they're bracing for judgment, or they nod constantly to show agreement. A rigid head signals tension and defensiveness. Excessive nodding signals approval-seeking. Neither creates attraction. The effective head tilt sits calmly in the middle. It communicates openness without submission. Here's what's really happening. A gentle tilt exposes the side of your neck just enough to signal trust, while your still body maintains authority. That combination is rare. It tells her you're engaged but not emotionally chasing. You're present but not trying to win. Her nervous system reads that as confidence. Stoicism explains this beautifully. Marcus Aurelius reminded us to remain steady in all situations, not pulled by impulse or anxiety. The head tilt is a physical expression of that inner steadiness. You're not rushing to react. You're allowing the moment to unfold. That restraint carries weight. Most men tilt their head unconsciously when they feel uncertain. That's not what we're talking about. This tilt is slow, intentional, and minimal. You tilt once, then you hold still. No bobbing, no constant movement. Stillness with a slight angle creates depth. Depth creates trust. Trust allows desire to grow. There's also a timing element. You tilt your head when she's speaking, not when you're talking. This shows genuine listening without interruption. You're giving her space to finish her thought. That space is rare, and rarity increases value. Epictetus said that if you want to improve, be content to appear unremarkable. Applied here, it means you don't rush to impress or correct. You listen, you absorb, you respond calmly. The head tilt supports that mindset. It signals patience instead of performance. Another important layer is pacing. When you tilt your head, you naturally slow the interaction. You stop rushing to fill silence. You let pauses exist. Pauses create emotional gravity. Emotional gravity pulls people closer without force. Let's be honest. Attraction often dies because men hurry. They hurry to answer, hurry to agree, hurry to escalate. The head tilt is a reminder to slow your body first. When the body slows, the mind follows. When the mind slows, presence deepens. Seneca warned that impatience makes small things destructive. In conversation, impatience shows up as cutting in or over-explaining. The calm head tilt paired with silence communicates patience. Patience reads as strength. This gesture only works when your shoulders are relaxed and your breathing is steady. If your body is tense, the tilt looks fake. This isn't about copying a move. It's about aligning your internal state with your external signal. When you master this, women often talk more around you. They open up without being pushed. That openness isn't accidental. It's a response to feeling safe and held by your presence. If you want to develop this level of composure consistently, this is exactly what we train inside the members area. We focus on body control, emotional regulation, and stoic presence under pressure. If you're serious about mastering attraction without chasing, consider joining the membership. If this resonates, drop a comment and write, "I stay present." Stick with me because this is just the beginning. Stay with me because the next gesture reveals how subtle self-touch can trigger desire without saying a word. Number 5. The subtle touch that triggers desire. Folks, let's be clear right away. This is not about grabbing, invading space, or trying to force chemistry. The touch that triggers desire is indirect, restrained, and often not even directed at her. It's about how you handle your own body. That's where most men get this completely wrong. Let's be real. Men who crave attraction touch too much. They fidget. They adjust their clothes nervously. They rub their hands together. That kind of movement leaks anxiety. But controlled, minimal self-touch communicates comfort inside your own skin, and that comfort is what her body responds to. Here's a real example. Kevin is 54, living in San Diego. He meets Laura, 46, at a networking mixer. While talking, Kevin doesn't wave his hands or lean forward constantly. At one point, he slowly adjusts his watch, then rests his arm back comfortably. The movement is unhurried. Laura notices it instantly. Not consciously, but physically. His calm handling of his own space makes her more aware of him. Another situation. Paul, 49, from Nashville, is on a casual dinner date with Michelle, 43. While Michelle speaks, Paul briefly touches his jawline, then drops his hand back down. No repetition, no fidgeting, just one slow, intentional motion. Michelle later tells him she felt an unexpected charge in that moment. He didn't touch her, but his comfort with his own body created tension. Here's the psychology. Self-touch, when done calmly, draws attention to your physical presence without demanding a response. It signals embodiment. Women respond strongly to men who seem fully inside their bodies, not stuck in their heads. It feels grounded. It feels masculine. Most men mess this up by copying gestures without understanding timing. If you repeat the movement, it turns into nervous energy. If you rush it, it looks performative. The key is scarcity. One touch, one adjustment, then stillness again. That contrast is what creates desire. This connects naturally to Stoic discipline. Stoicism is about control, not suppression. Marcus Aurelius spoke about governing impulses rather than obeying them. When you move your body only when necessary, every movement carries meaning. That meaning is felt, not analyzed. Consider another example. Robert is 58 from Phoenix, meeting Angela, 50, at a hotel lounge. While listening, Robert slowly straightens his jacket, then settles back into his seat. He doesn't repeat the motion. Angela feels herself becoming more aware of him physically, not because he tried to impress her, but because he didn't need to. Let's be honest again. Desire is often triggered by restraint. When you don't touch her, but you look comfortable touching yourself, her imagination fills the gap. Imagination is more powerful than action. Action ends tension. Imagination extends it. Here's a simple rule. If the touch helps you settle, it works. If the touch helps you release nerves, it doesn't. Calm always reads as attractive. Nervous energy never does. Practice this by doing less. Slow down your movements. Remove unnecessary gestures. When you do touch your body, make it intentional and brief. Then return to stillness. If this resonates, drop a comment and write, "I move with control." Stick with me because this is just the beginning. Stay with me because the next gesture reveals how the way you walk into a room silently commands attention without effort. Number 6. The way you walk that commands attention. Folks, let's get straight to it. The way you walk speaks before you ever open your mouth. Long before she hears your voice, her nervous system reads your pace, posture, and direction. Walking is not movement, it is a signal, and when it's done right, it quietly commands attention without asking for it. Let's be real. Most men rush. They walk like they are late, unsure, or looking for something to react to. Fast steps, tense shoulders, shallow breathing. That walk communicates one thing: inner pressure. Pressure kills attraction. The walk that commands attention is slower, grounded, and deliberate. Not exaggerated, not stiff, just settled. Here's the psychology behind it. A calm walk signals that you are not chasing anything. You are not scanning for approval. You are moving because you chose to move. That sense of choice reads as status. Women are wired to notice men who appear self-directed. It feels safe. It feels confident. It feels rare. Stoicism understood this long ago. Marcus Aurelius wrote that a man should stand and move upright, not propped up by others. Your walk is physical independence made visible. You are not being pulled by urgency or anxiety. You are carrying yourself. Most men think commanding attention requires dominance. It doesn't. It requires calm. Your steps should be even, your shoulders relaxed, Your head level. You don't look around to see who noticed. You don't slow down to be seen. You simply move with purpose. That lack of performance is what draws eyes. There is also rhythm. When you walk too fast, you look reactive. When you walk too slow, you look uncertain. The ideal pace feels natural and unforced. It matches your breathing. That harmony between breath and movement signals internal order. Internal order is attractive. Epictetus said that if you want to be invincible, make yourself dependent on nothing outside your control. Your pace is yours. When you control it, you communicate self-possession. When you rush, you give it away. Another key detail is direction. A man who walks with intention knows where he's going, even if it's just across a room. Wandering weakens presence. Direction strengthens it. You don't drift, you arrive. Arrival creates impact without effort. Let's be honest, many men sabotage attraction before they even speak. They rush toward her, slow down awkwardly, or hesitate mid-step. That hesitation is read instantly. Confidence is continuity. You decide, then you move. No second-guessing. Seneca warned that haste makes waste. In movement, haste makes noise. Calm makes gravity. Gravity pulls attention without sound. When you slow your walk, you slow the interaction before it begins. That gives you control over the emotional tempo. This is not about copying a style. It's about removing urgency. When you feel grounded, your walk adjusts naturally. Your arms swing less. Your stride smooths out. Your chest opens slightly. That openness signals availability without need. Practice this daily. Walk as if you have time. Walk as if nothing needs to happen next. When you enter a space, enter fully. When you leave, leave cleanly. No rush, no drag, just intention. If this lands, drop a comment and write, "I move with purpose." Stick with me because this is just the beginning. Stay with me because the next gesture reveals how small movements signal status instantly, and you don't want to miss this. Number 7. Small movements that signal status. Folks, let's get this straight. Status is not announced. It's sensed, and it's usually communicated through the smallest movements, not big gestures. Most men think status comes from what they say, how much they know, or how dominant they sound. In reality, women read status through how little you need to move to feel comfortable. Let's be real. Low status energy is busy. It fidgets. It adjusts constantly. It reacts to everything. High status energy is economical. Fewer movements, slower transitions, nothing wasted. When your body does less, each movement carries more meaning. Here's a real example. Andrew is 53, living in Palo Alto, and he meets Monica, 46, at a professional mixer. Andrew doesn't touch his phone. He doesn't shift his weight every few seconds. When someone interrupts, he turns his head slowly instead of snapping around. Monica notices this within minutes. She later says he felt calm and authoritative, even though he never raised his voice or took over the conversation. Another situation, Eric, 49, from Chicago, is on a first date with Danielle, 43. Danielle is animated, expressive, and used to men mirroring her energy to keep up. Eric doesn't. He lets her speak, then responds with minimal movement. One hand gesture, one nod, then stillness. Danielle starts leaning forward without realizing it. His restraint pulls her in. Here's the psychology. Status is associated with resource control. Someone who has options doesn't rush, fidget, or overreact. When your movements are small and deliberate, her nervous system reads abundance. It feels like you don't need to impress because you already belong. Most men sabotage this by trying to appear confident. They over-gesture, they over-explain, they move their hands to emphasize every point. That energy feels compensatory. Small movements feel assured. This aligns perfectly with Stoic thinking. Marcus Aurelius spoke about economy of action, doing only what is necessary. When your body follows that rule, it reflects inner discipline. Discipline is attractive because it signals self-command. Let's look at another example. Thomas is 57 from Santa Fe, meeting Julia, 50, at a gallery opening. When Julia challenges one of his opinions, Thomas doesn't rush to defend. He pauses slightly, shifts his posture, and answers calmly. That single controlled movement does more than a speech ever could. Julia becomes more attentive, not less. Small movements also show up in transitions: how you sit down, how you stand up, how you reach for a glass. Do you rush or do you take your time? Do you adjust repeatedly or do you settle once? Settling once is a power signal. It says, "I'm comfortable here." Let's be honest. Many men are uncomfortable being still because stillness exposes insecurity. Small movements force you to confront that discomfort. When you master it, your presence changes immediately. This doesn't mean becoming stiff or robotic. It means removing unnecessary motion. Let your body rest. Let your gestures be purposeful. When you speak, let your hands stay relaxed. When you listen, don't perform attentiveness. Be attentive. Women notice this instinctively. They don't think he's using small movements. They feel this man feels solid. That feeling is what creates attraction. Practice this in everyday life, at dinner, in meetings, while waiting in line. Move less, observe more. The less you move, the more grounded you feel. The more grounded you feel, the more status you project. If this hits home, drop a comment and write, "I move with intention." Stick with me because this is just the beginning. Stay with me because the next gesture reveals why leaning back makes her lean in, and you don't want to miss this. Number 8. Leaning back makes her lean in. Folks, leaning back is not disinterest. It is controlled space. When you lean back slightly, you remove pressure from the moment and hand her room to move. Most men lean forward to prove interest. That forward energy feels needy. Leaning back says, "You are present but not reaching." That contrast creates tension her body responds to before her mind explains it. Calm posture slows everything down naturally and builds quiet authority instantly. Leaning back works because desire grows toward what does not chase it. When you hold your seat and relax your shoulders, you signal self-possession. She feels no urgency coming from you. That absence of urgency invites curiosity. Curiosity pulls her closer. This is not a trick. It is how nervous systems negotiate attraction without words or effort, especially when emotions start running high inside during intimate moments together between two people. Stoicism points directly at this principle. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the mind should remain upright and unshaken by external pulls. Leaning back reflects that internally stable mind. You are not leaning away from her, you are leaning into yourself. That internal anchor changes the dynamic. She senses strength without force, and desire forms quietly around it. Calm posture communicates leadership without words and reduces emotional pressure instantly during meaningful conversations with women. When men lean forward, they try to control outcomes. Leaning back releases outcome fixation. You listen instead of pushing. You respond instead of pursuing. That shift flips polarity. She feels chosen space, not demanded attention. Seneca warned that impatience multiplies suffering. Leaning back removes impatience from the interaction and lets attraction breathe naturally. This calm invites her initiative over time, without pressure or emotional manipulation from either side involved during connection moments. Leaning back does not mean disengaging. Your eyes stay present, your tone stays warm, only your body eases off. That physical ease signals abundance. Someone with options does not crowd moments, he allows them. Women feel that difference immediately. The space you create becomes magnetic because it feels voluntary and safe. Safety allows desire to expand naturally over time without chasing reassurance or validation from her reactions or words in moments together. Many men fear that leaning back signals weakness. It does not. It signals trust in your own value. Epictetus said, "Freedom comes from depending on nothing outside yourself." Leaning back embodies that freedom physically. You are not pulled forward by hope or fear. You remain grounded, and grounding draws attention. Grounded men change emotional tempo automatically and influence attraction without verbal effort during early and late interactions with calm consistency, present always. Practice this by noticing your body first. When conversation intensifies, lean back a few inches. Breathe slowly. Let your chest open. Do not retreat. Do not advance. Hold the middle ground. That middle ground is power. It stabilizes the moment and invites her to step closer emotionally. This response separates centered men from reactive ones, especially during flirtation and uncertainty, where emotional pressure usually appears and tests composure quickly without warning signs. Leaning back is remembered because it feels different. If this speaks to you, write "I stay grounded" in the comments. Stay with me because the next gesture shows how offering space makes her feel safe and pulled toward you at the same time. Don't go anywhere. This is where subtle presence turns into real desire. When calm leadership replaces chasing and tension replaces effort, through disciplined Stoic control felt deeply without words, by attentive women everywhere. Number 9. The gesture that makes her feel safe. Folks, safety is not boring. Safety is seductive when it comes from strength. The gesture that makes a woman feel safe is simple, quiet, and rare. You create a protective boundary without crowding her space. Not grabbing, not hovering, just clear, calm positioning that says, "I am aware and in control." Let's be real. Many men try to create desire by pushing forward. They invade space, talk louder, or rush touch. That triggers alarms. The gesture that works does the opposite. You subtly position yourself between her and chaos. A doorway, a busy sidewalk, a loud group. You do not announce it, you just do it. Here is a real situation. Chris is 55 from Portland, meeting Dana, 47, at a crowded food festival. As people press in, Chris shifts half a step, so Dana is on the inside, closer to the wall. He does not touch her. He does not make a comment. He simply adjusts his stance and continues the conversation. Dana relaxes immediately. She feels looked after without being controlled. Another example. Stephen is 49 from New Jersey, walking with Michelle, 43, after dinner. A cyclist cuts close on the sidewalk. Stephen calmly guides the path by stepping slightly outward and slowing his pace. No grabbing, no panic. Michelle notices the ease. Later she tells him she felt surprisingly calm around him. That calm turns into attraction. Here is why this works. Safety signals activate trust. Trust allows desire to surface. When a woman senses that you can manage the environment without drama, her nervous system softens. She does not need to stay alert. That relief creates intimacy. Stoicism speaks directly to this. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the best way to protect yourself is to be unassailable. This gesture shows that you are unshaken by noise or pressure. You do not react. You respond. That steadiness is protective. Most men miss this because they think protection requires dominance. It does not. It requires awareness. You notice surroundings. You anticipate friction. You adjust calmly. That anticipation feels masculine because it shows responsibility. Let's be honest again. The gesture must be subtle. If you announce it, you break the spell. If you repeat it excessively, it feels performative. One clean adjustment is enough. Then you return to stillness. Another situation. Robert is 61 from Santa Barbara, attending a gallery opening with Elaine, 52. A group crowds near them. Robert shifts the angle of their stance so Elaine has space and sightlines. He keeps talking as if nothing happened. Elaine later says she felt safe and seen. That feeling stays. This is not about being a shield. It is about being grounded. Seneca warned that anxiety spreads faster than danger. When you stay calm, you prevent anxiety from spreading. That calm becomes associated with you. Practice this by becoming observant. Doors, curbs, noise, crowds. Position yourself with intention. Do less, say nothing. Let the gesture speak. Safety paired with desire changes everything for long-term attraction. When she feels protected without being managed, she relaxes into her femininity and curiosity. That shift opens flirtation, play, and intimacy naturally. You do not need tactics. You need composure, awareness, and timing. Applied quietly, consistently, and without asking for credit from anyone else present. If this resonates, drop a comment and write, "I lead calmly." Stick with me because this is just the beginning. The final gesture shows how quiet presence makes you unforgettable. Number 10. The Stoic presence she can't forget. Folks, let's bring this home. Everything you've learned so far points to one core truth. What stays with her is not a gesture, a line, or a moment. It's your presence. Stoic presence is what makes all the subtle signals work together. Without it, techniques fall flat. With it, even silence becomes memorable. Let's be real. Most men try to manufacture attraction. They stack behaviors, watch reactions, and adjust constantly. That creates noise. Stoic presence removes noise. It is the feeling that you are fully here, fully grounded, and not needing anything from the moment to be okay. When a woman feels that her nervous system relaxes and becomes curious at the same time, Stoic presence starts internally. You are not scanning for approval. You are not managing outcomes. You are not trying to hold her interest. You are simply showing up as yourself, disciplined and centered. Marcus Aurelius wrote that true strength is the ability to stand firm without being disturbed. When you carry that internally, it radiates outward without effort. Here's the key shift. Instead of thinking about what to do, think about what to stop doing. Stop rushing. Stop over-explaining. Stop filling space. Stop reacting to every change in her tone or energy. When you remove excess behavior, presence emerges naturally, and presence is felt more than it is seen. Stoic presence creates a unique emotional signature. She feels calm around you but also alert, safe but intrigued, seen but not overwhelmed. That combination is rare because it requires self-control. Seneca warned that a man ruled by impulse is never free. A man who governs himself becomes a stable point others orient around. This presence also creates memory. People don't remember everything that happens to them. They remember how they felt. When your presence slows time slightly, when conversations feel unforced and grounded, those moments stand out. She may not replay exact words, but she replays the feeling of being with you. Another aspect of Stoic presence is consistency. You are the same, whether things are going well or uncertain. Warm without being eager, calm without being distant. That consistency creates trust. Trust allows desire to deepen over time instead of burning out quickly. Let's be honest again. Stoic presence is not passive. It is active discipline. You are choosing composure over impulse, observation over reaction. Epictetus said that freedom comes from focusing only on what is within your control. Your presence is always within your control. Her response is not. When you stop trying to be memorable, you become unforgettable. because there is nothing forced about you, nothing needy, nothing performative. Just a man who is comfortable with himself, and therefore comfortable to be around. This is why Stoic presence outlasts attraction tricks. Looks change, situations shift, but the feeling of being grounded around someone stays. It becomes a reference point. She compares other men to how she felt around you. That comparison works in your favor without you doing anything. The paradox is simple. The less you try to create desire, the more space you give it to grow. Stoic presence is that space. It holds tension without pushing. It allows connection without demanding it. If you master nothing else, master this. Be where you are. Breathe. Listen. Respond instead of react. Let your body and mind align. When they do, your presence becomes the signal. That is the Stoic presence she can't forget. Folks, today we broke down how subtle gestures shape attraction before words ever matter. From stillness and eye contact to posture, movement, and calm presence, you learned how women respond to what they feel around you, not what you try to prove. The value here is simple. When you master self-control and Stoic presence, desire forms naturally without chasing pressure or performance. If you want to take this further and actually train these habits into your daily life, consider joining the members area. That's where we go deeper into emotional discipline, body language, and real-world application. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss what's coming next. New videos drop regularly, and each one sharpens the edge. Thanks for spending your time with me today. I appreciate you, and I'll see you again tomorrow.